Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are listening to today's pre-recorded on-demand presentation. Thanks so much, folks, for joining us. Today, we are here to talk about overnight rail vacations with Amtrak Vacations. My name is Jim Marini, and I will proudly be your host here today for about 30 minutes. I hope you could join me all the way through. We got lots to cover today, such as important things to know about traveling by train, popular destinations to consider for your next rail vacation, either this year in 2022 or even into 2023. I'll also talk about routing your vacation right from your hometown Amtrak train station. So for any of you that may not like to fly or certainly don't feel like driving, and looking for something different, did you know there's over 500 Amtrak train stations throughout the United States, and Amtrak Vacations can help plan your trip from start to finish. Now, for those of you who may not be as familiar with Amtrak Vacations, we are part of the Yankee Leisure Group family of brands. And if you look on the left-hand side, that is our Amtrak Vacations brochure. Yes, folks, we are the official tour operator here in the United States for Amtrak. So we not only do rail, we also can do hotels, sightseeing tours, meals, activities, even car rentals. We have packages from 3, 4, 5 days long to 1 and 2 weeks long, cross country, out to some of the beautiful national parks, including today's topic, which is overnight rail vacations. Now, the brochure you see on the right-hand side, this is Rail Bookers. This is our sister brand. This is all of our Canadian, European, worldwide rail vacations. So between both of our brands, we have the world covered for each and every one of you and your friends and family. And the best part is, for any of you looking to stay closer to home or stay and travel right here in the United States, did you know you can book and travel on any Amtrak Vacations trip, folks, from today? Yes, literally from today. Whatever day you are listening to today's pre-recorded on-demand webinar, you can travel literally from today all the way out to 2023. Now, there's so many reasons why travelers love traveling on board with Amtrak Vacations. If you look in the top left-hand corner, when you or your local travel advisor plan your rail vacation of a lifetime, you or they are speaking to one of our rail experts live on the phone who know the rail, the best routes, the best times, the best schedules. As I mentioned, again, you can book and travel from today all the way to 2023. Now, we do have a great maximum flexibility offer going on right now, which I'll tell you about in just a little bit. We also have the largest rail vacation selection of independent style rail vacations, flexible independent travel in the world, not just here in the United States with Amtrak Vacations, but in the world, including our sister brand Rail Bookers. And folks, no rail trip is too complicated for us. And what you'll hear about today, we can personalize, we can customize any trip for you, your friends and family, wherever and whenever you would like to go. So keep that in mind. And with that, that's why we're here to talk about so many different trips and what options are available. Do you know on any trip, if you look in the top left-hand corner, folks, you can add on any destination. So if you want to add an additional city, an additional stop, maybe visit family and friends along the way where you can add an extra night. You can also take any trip, round trip, right from your local Amtrak train station. So again, if any of you do not like to fly or you don't feel like driving and you want that convenience without having to deal with any traffic, all right, you don't even have to set foot on an airplane if you don't want to. You can also upgrade your rail ticket, which I'll talk more about the seating and sleeping accommodations a little later in today's presentation. You can also add sightseeing tours or even upgrade to private tours. Now, our maximum flexibility offer going on right now, but only until January 14th, folks. What is this? Any new reservation you make with us or through your local travel advisor on any Amtrak vacation package, once you have put down a small deposit of only $250 per person on any trip that may be of interest to you, or certainly any customized or personalized trip that you and your travel advisor or any of our vacation consultants help design for you, if you did need to change or postpone your trip, whatever the reason is, we are waiving any and all change and cancellation fees, basically giving you, your friends and family, that peace of mind to know that once you have deposited, you have the freedom to change your dates, the duration, or even the destination of your vacation without any change or cancellation penalty. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to talk more about the seating and sleeping accommodations a little later in today's presentation. But did you know you are allowed 2 free carry-on bags per person and 2 pieces of checked bags, checked luggage, up to 50 pounds per luggage, 50 pounds per luggage. And here's one nice difference between train versus plane. You can check in that luggage as close into departure as only 45 minutes. You do not have to arrive to any of those train stations in the United States 2 to 3 up to 4 hours earlier. You can literally check it in as close in as 45 minutes before departure. Now, before we move into some of these fantastic packages, folks, where can you travel to by train? Really, the question should be, where can you not travel to by train? Because if you look at this map, folks, do you know Amtrak travels to 46 out of the 48 states within the continental United States, with the exception of South Dakota and Wyoming? And all the red lines that you see there, folks, all the red lines represent, the best part is they represent all the different train routes that you can travel to in the United States. All the white dots that you see represent all the different train stations. Now, the green lines that you see in between the red lines, those are what we call our throughway routes, our motor coach throughway buses, basically bringing you and your friends and family to some of those fantastic destinations where the train may not physically travel to. Destinations such as Yellowstone, Las Vegas, Nashville, just to name a few. We can help take you there, as well as your travel advisor. By the way, we are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that phone number is listed at the bottom of your screen. Certainly, again, you can give us a call, or even better, contact your local travel advisor to plan any of these trips. Let's talk about these exciting overnight rail vacations, starting with my personal favorite, folks, the California ZEPHYR rail experience. This is my favorite iconic overnight train in all of the United States. This is the train, folks, that goes from Chicago all the way to San Francisco, as you can see right there at the bottom of your screen. And when you talk about a train that literally slices in and outside the mountains, especially in the great state of Colorado, that's the California ZEPHYR. But before we get there, as I mentioned, this trip starts in the great city of Chicago, home of the deep dish pizza, home of Wrigley Field, where the Chicago Cubs play, one of the most iconic American baseball stadiums in the United States. And what you're looking at right here, this is at the top of what's known as Willis Tower, formerly Sears Tower. And this is actually a full glass observation deck that gives you and your friends and family that great view of the city. Now, once you depart, as I mentioned, it is heading out west, and you're going to travel through the great state of Colorado, where, again, you literally are slicing in and outside the mountains. From there, you then make your way into the great state of Utah. And by the way, what you're looking at here is the observation car. This is where you want to be, folks, whether it's on the California ZEPHYR or any of our overnight iconic long-distance trains. This is free of charge. Anyone can sit here. And this is where you're going to get those big, beautiful glass dome windows. It's open seating. And as you can see, the chairs face out towards the scenery. Before you know it, you arrive in the Wild West, San Francisco, home of the Golden Gate Bridge, known as the City by the Bay, a city that I am proud to say was the first city that I went to on my honeymoon over 20 years ago, and have been back many, many times since. Weather on an average, typically in the 60s, with very little to no humidity. Keep this package in mind, folks. California ZEPHYR, 7 days, 6 nights, starting as low as $12.49 per person. By the way, all the pricing that you see here in today's presentation, as well as on our website or in any of our e-brochures, is based in double occupancy. So per person, 2 to a room. We do have single rates available. So if any of you are single or solo travelers, just let us or let your local travel advisor know. Also, if you look at the map, folks, that number 2 that you see in the great city of Chicago, that number 2 that you see in the great city of San Francisco in a round black circle, that just tells you how many nights that you are overnighting in these great cities. And remember what I mentioned right at the beginning of today's presentation. We have tons of options. So, folks, if you want to spend 3 nights or 4 nights in Chicago, or 3 or 4 nights in San Francisco, or maybe just 1 night in San Francisco, you can add days to any trip. You can also take out days. You can add additional stops. Maybe some of you, again, may want to spend some time in the great city of Denver, or even stop in Salt Lake City where you can travel north up into Yellowstone. We can easily customize and personalize any trip for you and your friends and family. And the last point I'll mention, that red line that you see, and then the red triangle with the number 2, on this particular package, that just lets you know you not only spend 1 night, you spend 2 nights on board, overnight, traveling from Chicago to San Francisco on the California ZEPHYR. Let's move along. Now, the number 1 most popular package in all of our packages in the United States, you are looking at it. This is Glacier National Park. Now, Glacier National Park, folks, this is known as a seasonal national park. So what does that mean? This trip only operates from June through the mid to end of September. It's only open for 4 months. So if Glacier National Park is on your wish list, certainly this year in 2022 or even into 2023, now is the time to pick up that phone, give us a call, or contact your local travel advisor to book space. I'll tell you one thing's for sure, folks, as I'm sure many of you would agree, people are staying closer to home. People are traveling domestically now more than ever versus internationally. And you can too. In the train you travel on this particular package, or any packages that travel to Glacier National Park, is the Empire Builder. By the way, a little fun trivia for all of you. All the trains that go from Chicago west out to some of the beautiful national parks, out to California, Oregon, Washington, they are all known as Superliner double-decker trains. I just highlighted one of them previously, the California ZEPHYR. Well, guess what? Here's another one, the Empire Builder. This is the train, folks, that will take you from the great city of Chicago, where, again, you get to overnight right from Union Station, one of my favorite train stations in all of the United States, right out of the heart of Chicago, where you can even upgrade to your own private sleeper. Again, we're going to talk more about upgrading and seating and sleeping accommodations in just a little bit. But here's an example of upgrading to a private sleeper. Now, before you know it, after you depart, typically in the mid-afternoon from the great city of Chicago, you'll have an overnight journey. And by the way, when you do upgrade, if you choose, to a private sleeper, you have all your meals included, folks, from the city you depart from until the city you arrive in. So please be sure to consider upgrading to your own private sleeper, because not only will you have dinner included once you leave the great city of Chicago, you'll have breakfast, you'll have lunch, and then you arrive in Glacier National Park before dinner time. And as I mentioned, again, this park is only open in the months of June, July, August, and September. So this is one package. If this is on your wish list or bucket list, now is the time to book this, either this year or for next year. This trip itself, folks, 10 days, 9 nights, starting at $32.99, again, per person. We do have single rates available as well. Pricing that you see also is based in coach seating with the option to upgrade to any private sleepers, which we can easily build on, or your travel advisor can easily add on for you. But if you look at this package, again, as you can see, 2 nights in the great city of Chicago with an overnight on board the Empire Builder, where you then spend 3 nights in Glacier National Park. And did I mention you have the option to stay at Glacier Park Lodge? That lodge, folks, is located about 209 steps away from the Amtrak train station at Glacier. Location, location, location. Now, after you spend a few nights in Glacier National Park, where we will include a full day locally guided tour on one of the days with a local tour guide, you are then treated for an overnight journey from Glacier out to Seattle for the remainder of your trip. So keep this package in mind. Now, for those of you who not only want national parks, but you want to see multiple national parks in one trip, this is our Grand National Parks. Also another trip within our top 3 most popular packages, because in this one, we not only include Yellowstone, we also include Yosemite and the Grand Canyon. And as you can see, again, starting in the great city of Chicago. And I should mention to all of you joining me wherever, whenever you are listening and viewing and watching today's pre-recorded on-demand presentation, you can start right from your local Amtrak train station on any of these trips, folks. So keep that in mind. You do not have to start or end in the great city of Chicago. These are just some sample packages that happen to start and or end in the great city of Chicago. But if you do not like to fly or you don't feel like driving, we can start you right from your local Amtrak train station. And again, there's over 500 different train stations throughout the United States to choose from, and you can choose your local one right near you. Now, in this particular package, it does include the great Salt Lake City, which I refer to as the gateway to Yellowstone National Park. Now, Yellowstone National Park, folks, is similar to Glacier National Park in the sense that it is also a seasonal national park. Now, Yellowstone is open a little bit longer than Glacier National Park, which again is only 4 months, June, July, August, and September. Yellowstone is typically open from May to October. And guess what? They even have a winter season. So if any of you want to be there during the winter time and see the snow-capped mountains and, of course, the fantastic wildlife, you have the option of November and December to choose from as well. Now, as I mentioned, this package is known as our Grand National Parks because it not only includes Yellowstone, it includes Yosemite, home of El Capitan, home of Half Dome. And on any of these national parks packages, folks, we typically include anywhere from a half a day to a full day locally guided tour where you'll have a chance to have a local tour guide with you during a portion of the day. You'll also have an opportunity to have some free time to explore on your own, meet some of the local park rangers. And did I mention also visit my old stomping grounds of beautiful, sunny Southern California? Welcome to Hollywood, Los Angeles. Now, I'll tell you, folks, I've traveled all over the United States. Really, I've traveled all over the world. Southern California is probably some of the most beautiful, perfect weather year-round. And did I mention Beverly Hills is also located right nearby? Now, folks, being able to travel on board the train, if you ever have been on board Amtrak vacations before, you know what I'm talking about. And folks, if this is your first time and you want to experience something different, maybe you want to visit family and friends along the journey, you don't want to deal with traffic, I think it's safe to say the clouds look the same anywhere we fly, so why not travel the train along your journey where you can see more of the destination? Let your journey be part of your overall vacation, and we can help you do that as well as your local travel advisor. Now, this trip's also special because it includes another iconic overnight rail vacation, and this is on board the Southwest Chief. All right, another superliner train, another double-decker train. And this is the train, folks, that goes from Los Angeles for an overnight journey out to the Grand Canyon National Park, considered one of the 7 wonders of the world. And speaking of the number 7, you know, in the year 2019, over 7 million visitors traveled here. Absolutely amazing. You know, they estimate there's certain parts of the Grand Canyon that are up to 6,000 feet deep, up to 6,000 feet deep. And by the way, when we talk any of the national parks, folks, I'm going to give you 3 words, and I said it during my Glacier National Park portion of today's presentation: location, location, location. You have the ability to also stay in many of the iconic lodges inside the national parks, including the Grand Canyon. We got some great lodges to choose from, whether it's El Tavar, Yavapai, Maswick Lodge, just to name a few. We or your local travel advisor can help with those arrangements. Now, this is also special because it travels to Williams, right along Route 66. So if that's on your wish list, this is a great little kind of Wild West town. Keep this package in mind, folks. Just such an awesome, awesome journey. Grand National Parks with Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon. And again, this package happens to be round trip from Chicago. But if you don't like to fly or you don't want to drive, we or your local travel advisor can start and end your trip right from your local Amtrak train station. And certainly if you don't mind flying, folks, guess what? When you book through your local travel advisor, he or she can also book flights for you round trip into Chicago, as well as the entire package. So if you don't mind flying, you can certainly fly into O'Hare or Midway in Chicago and then take this fantastic, exciting rail journey of a lifetime. And folks, one of the last trips I want to highlight, New Orleans, ultimate getaway, round trip again from Chicago. But keep in mind, again, any trip can be round trip from your local Amtrak train station. If you want a city with lots of nightlife, lots of fun, great cuisine, and let's not forget fantastic jazz, blues, rock and roll, you are looking at that city right here, right now, and that is New Orleans. And folks, traveling on board the train is such an awesome way to experience any of these great cities. And here's one of those examples. This is known as our New Orleans Ultimate Getaway, and you travel on the train known as the City of New Orleans. And again, anytime you see the red lines, folks, that is the train route. The number 1 or the number 2 in a triangle, a red triangle, just let you know those are overnight journeys. And as you can see, this particular package has 3 nights in the great city of New Orleans. Now, again, you can make it 4 nights, 5 nights. You can add San Antonio if you want, which is also nearby. You get to personalize and customize any trip that you would like. And folks, I had to throw in one more national parks. Grand Tetons and Yellowstone rail journey. All right, let's talk about this package for just a moment. This is such an awesome trip. And again, when we talk about Yellowstone and we talk about the Grand Tetons, we're talking about my absolute favorite train in all of the United States, and that's the California ZEPHYR. Now, when you do travel to Grand Teton, when you do travel to Yellowstone, same as Yosemite on any of our packages that include Yosemite, the trains do not physically travel to these national parks. But guess what, folks? We still include transportation in a motor coach bus that will take you to these destinations. It's all included in our packages. We even have the option, if you choose, to even have your own private car rental. You get to decide however you want to travel. But every national park that we offer, we either travel by train, such as Glacier National Park, where the train station is located, again, only 209 steps away from Glacier Park Lodge, or we travel to some of these fantastic national parks, Yellowstone, Yosemite, in a full deluxe motor coach or in your own private car rental. And I should mention also, do you know when you travel to the Grand Canyon, we actually travel and use the Grand Canyon Railway, one of the most iconic trains, the Wild West trains in the United States, which takes you right from Williams, Arizona into the south rim of the Grand Canyon, only about a 2-hour train ride. By the way, a little fun trivia. Do you know if you take the states of Rhode Island and Delaware combine them, both of those states are smaller than Yellowstone National Park. So keep Grand Tetons and Yellowstone rail journey in mind. All right, as promised, let's talk about what it is like on board the train. And one of the first things I want to mention is when you upgrade to a private sleeper, there's so many great benefits, such as you have priority separate boarding. All right. And before we talk about that, keep in mind, even when you travel in coach accommodations, which is the main seating on board the train, take a look, folks, at this picture. Lots of leg room. You have your own private outlets. You could charge your iPhone, mobile device, laptop, iPad. If you look in the top of the picture, lots of room to store any of your carry-on bags. And I'm going to give you a big highlight right here, right now. You ready, folks? There are no middle seats on board the trains. There are no middle seats, unlike on board a plane. So you never have to worry about getting stuck in a middle seat. 2 extra large seats on one side, 2 extra large seats on the other. Now, there's so many important things to know about private sleeping accommodations. Let's talk about that. Such as when you upgrade to your own private sleeper, especially on any of these overnight rail vacations, you have your own dedicated car attendant, plus included toiletries, bottled water, and coffee. You have your own privacy door that can lock from the inside. And guess what, folks? When that door is closed and those curtains are closed, if you want to take off your facial covering or mask, which would be required on board the trains until further notice, just like they are on board the airlines, when you are in your own private room and that door is closed and those curtains are closed, folks, you have that option if you choose to take off your facial covering and mask. It's as if you are in your own private hotel room traveling on board the train. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest and best highlights when you upgrade to your own private sleeper, all of your meals are included on board the train from the city you arrive in to from the city you depart from. And did you know, on many of our trains, you also have the option to have meals delivered right to your own private room. So keep that in mind. And speaking of private rooms, what you're looking at right here, folks, this is the most popular and the most affordable private room of any sleepers on board the train. This is a roomette. And as you can see, you can sit back, relax, enjoy the sight scenery sounds along the way, maybe read a book, listen to a little music. Here's a larger diagram of what it looks like. As you can see, bunk bed style. Now, what you'll notice is not inside of a roomette is its own private toilet or shower. But remember, this is our most popular and our most affordable because what we have is called private restroom access and private shower access. And all that means is right down the hall, you have access to multiple toilets and multiple showers that only people can use who are booked in sleepers. Now, you know yourselves the best. If you want your own private toilet, your own private shower and vanity inside of your room, then consider upgrading one more level. And this is a bedroom, which will be a little larger in size, as you can see in the diagram here. Bunk bed style, just like a roomette, but it does have its own in-room restroom and its own in-room shower. I will mention we also have accessible bedrooms if any of you may need that as well. Folks, before I conclude today's on-demand pre-recorded webinar, do you know you that are joining us, any of your children or grandchildren, if they are between the ages of 2 and 12, do you know they can get up to 50% off on the rail portion of any package? Yes, 50, up to 50% off the rail ticket. Now, these discounts are all based in coach seating, but these are still great values. These are what we call Amtrak's everyday discounts. Also, any of you that are 65 or older, you can get up to 10% off on the rail portion of any package. What is the rail portion? Whatever the cost of the rail ticket would be within a package, and a package consisting of a hotel, meals, sightseeing tours. In military, first and foremost, thank you so much for your service. Any active duty military, you, your spouses, and dependents can also get up to 10% off on the rail portion of any package. Folks, I hope you have been inspired to travel now more than ever, to stay closer to home, to visit family and friends who may live in other parts of the country, to travel overnight on some of these iconic, amazing trains that we have here in the United States, from the California ZEPHYR, the Empire Builder, or certainly the Southwest Chief. As I mentioned, we are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. You can certainly view us and check out many of these packages, or certainly any others, online, or even better, contact your local travel advisor who can book any of these trips or any others and help customize and personalize a trip just the way you and your friends and family would like, and even book flights for you, either round trip or one way in and out of a particular city, however you choose. Lots of great options. And again, one thing's for sure, people are traveling domestically now more than ever versus internationally. I hope you enjoyed today's pre-recorded on-demand webinar. Thank you all so much, folks, wherever, whenever you are listening and viewing today's webinar. And we look forward to having you, your friends, and family on board soon with Amtrak Vacations. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.